It's 6 p.m. The office is silent, and you're still at your desk. On your screen, the work is, as usual, perfect. No errors, no delays. No one is hovering over your shoulder to check your progress. They don't need to. Everyone in the building knows that if a task is on your desk, it's already handled. You've become so reliable that you've become invisible, and that is exactly why you're stuck. People often call this a plateau, as if you've reached a peak and simply stopped. But it feels more like a gyroscope. You're spinning with incredible energy, solving complex problems with terrifying efficiency. Yet your position never changes. You are generating immense power, but staying in the exact same spot. We're told that being essential is the goal. You believe that because you're holding up the building, you'll eventually be invited to the penthouse. But the math doesn't work that way. The better you are at your job, the harder it is to move you. You feel that pressure on your shoulders, and you mistake it for power. It isn't power, you're just a load-bearing wall. If you move, the floor above you collapses. So, the system ensures you never move. Everything works perfectly, and that is exactly why nothing changes. Replacing you is a nightmare. It costs too much time and money to find someone new who won't make mistakes. To your manager, you are a bargain. High output for a fixed cost. Why would they change the deal when they're winning? To promote you, your boss has to find a replacement who will likely cost more and achieve less. It's a bad trade, so the most logical move is to keep you exactly where you are. They offer praise instead of a promotion. It's an anesthetic to keep you comfortable while you're being used as part of the foundation. We like to think of ourselves as an investment the company wants to grow, but usually, you're treated like a utility, like electricity or the internet. No one celebrates the light switch when the room gets bright. They just pay the bill and forget about it. As long as the power is steady, you're ignored. You only get noticed when the power goes out. As long as you keep the lights on and the work flowing, you are just a cost the company pays to keep the building running. This is how you get stuck. You become a specific tool for a specific problem. You end up doing extra work for the same pay, fixing mistakes that other people made. When you pick up the slack for a colleague, you aren't being a leader. You're just hiding the fact that the system is broken. Management loves this. They tell you that you're essential, but in an office, that usually just means you're too useful to move. Think of your career like a safe investment. You're acting like a bond. You're reliable, predictable, and you pay out perfect results every day. You believe that if you do this long enough, the company will eventually give you a bigger piece of the pie. But a bond doesn't eventually turn into a stock. It's structurally impossible. A bond just stays a bond until it expires. Management wants you in the basement where it's safe and you can keep printing money. They aren't going to move the machine that works perfectly into a new room where it might break. You spend years learning every process and every quirk of your boss. You think you're building security, but you're really just becoming a key. A hammer is useful everywhere. A key is only useful for one specific lock. By becoming the perfect fit for your company's problems, you've ensured you can't open any other doors. You've optimized yourself into a cage. Look at the people who actually get promoted. Often, they aren't as good at the job as you are. They miss deadlines. They make mistakes. They are squeaky wheels. You look at them with disdain, but you're missing the math. Because they aren't perfect, they are easy to replace. A manager isn't afraid to move a mediocre worker because the building won't collapse if they leave. You are welded to the floor by your own efficiency. They are on wheels. Once you realize this, it isn't a dramatic exit, it's a cooling down. You realize you've been selling a premium product for a discount price. So, you adjust the quality to match the pay. You stop fixing every error before it happens. You let the delays return to the system before. You made the machine run so silently that management assumed it ran itself. Now, you let them feel the weight. You force them to experience the friction you used to absorb for them. This isn't laziness. It's a market correction. It's the only rational response to a system that rewards excellence with immobility. The silence in the office changes. It's no longer the silence of a perfect machine. It's the silence of a waiting room. You're no longer holding up the building. You're just renting space in it until you find the door. Stop fixing the problems before they arrive. Let the system feel the lag. Watch who starts to panic. That is your real leverage.